Welcome back to another episode of Tides of Change. Each video takes about a dozen hours of work, so if you could please leave a like, it'll go a long way in helping out the channel. And back to the video. Okay, episode 2 begins now. You guys are celebrating having just slain a Kilrathi and your first big fight as a team. Congratulations. That was the easy
Yay!
fight. That was the warm-up fight.
What? Excuse me?
So, you guys have slain your first monster, the Kilrathi. You acquired 3 Kilrathi horns, which are quite valuable according to some of the Thrope crew members on board. And in fact, Hadrian, the captain, approaches 3 of you. He approaches Hyacinth, Spira, and Sylaris. And last time we spoke, he mentioned about the fact that he's not too happy that so many strangers are showing up on his boat. But he's not too upset about it because, well, 1, he just lost some crew. And 2, he's also just a pretty chill guy. Yeah, he essentially holsters his pistols and just shakes each of your hands and says, "Welcome to the crew."
Question.
Yes.
How did he shake my hand?
He offered a baby finger in a very gentlemanly way.
He offered his pinky.
So, does anybody want to say anything to him while you've got the captain here? Oh, hello there, little one. It's been a while since I've seen a Fae. How you doing? What you doing all the way out here?
Right now, I'm stuck in a tentacle, but that's okay. It's really not. Please help me out.
He looks up at Sylaris with like a raised eyebrow, be like, "What's going on here? Is this something I should be concerned about?"
Well, I should ask the same because I never saw a ship like this in this area of the ocean. Who are you and what's this all about? What is the ship?
Oh, I'm Captain Hadrian Barksdale. We're sailing from Hicksport and we're going to Tarnithia. We tried to stop off at the Celestial Den, but with little luck. You know how they tend to shoo us away, but we sometimes get a little bit of goods. So, we do a little unofficial stop every once in a while, trade some goods that might be banned and get some goods that might be banned elsewhere. It's good business. It's good business. And it's not illegal per se, but, we stopped off and it's always good to get a little bit of variance in food. Speaking of food, that Kilrathi is going to provide a lot of meat for us for a while. So thank you to the 3 of you. I really appreciate how you guys stood up for us. And you see the crew behind you are like busy carving up the Kilrathi hide. They're getting the skins, they're getting the meat, they're getting the fats. They're essentially trying to make the most out of this resource.
You all eat meat?
I know.
Well, we got a lot of grain stored down there, but we're kind of using that for trade, really. The Varenhal Thrope Kingdom, we have very lush wheat farms. My men crave a little bit of something different every once in a while.
So you're not holding it right now, is what you're saying?
Holding?
In your hands?
No. The crew behind him are busy like carving up, but he just holstered his pistols and shook each of your hand, and you're just conversing.
It is now Hyacinth's grain.
Context.
He left it unattended.
Context. The Fae have a very loose definition of ownership. If you can pick it up, it's yours. If you put it down, it's no longer yours. There are very few things that Fae actually treasure, like long term. So anything that a Fae is carrying is considered theirs until they put it down. So yeah, good luck, guys.
If I am carrying a Fae in my pocket,
That's different. That's different.
That's different. That's me.
Oh, that Fae. I owe you. You are my booster for life.
I mean, also be very careful if Hyacinth offers you guys anything.
Oh my god.
Hyacinth,
And why are you saying this after the fact?
also, Hyacinth's getting really squirmy in your tentacles and wants out, like now.
Oh yeah, you can flutter out.
No, because she's holding her.
Sylaris, you can let
No,
her go if
I
you
was
want.
just shielding her with my tentacles.
I thought you were holding her
It's
in place.
I mean, no. It was just to shield you and to avoid you being
You wanted my buff.
thrown into the ocean. So no, I'm gentle with you, okay? So it's not.
Symbiosis.
Doesn't make
It was
any-
symbiosis.
any
Yeah,
sense.
but
So-
I'm sorry. I'm slimy, yes, but
The
the
dang-
intention is what matters.
The danger is over now, so you guys can be free.
Okay, so Hyacinth is like literally fluttering around, looking for like anything to eat because she's starving.
Oh, don't worry about that. Captain Hadrian says. He's like, my boys. We're gonna be preparing quite the feast tonight in order to celebrate this. It's not every day you get to fight a Kilmari and live. Let's be honest. So yeah, they're gonna have a feast later. Nix, you are standing there awkwardly on the ship deck. You notice the captain are talking to the 3 of them, and the crew are all busy working. So If you keep still for too long, someone's going to wonder why you're not helping out with the crew.
Wait, aren't I still injured?
You have the cut wounds that Spira treated, so they're not healed, but they were treated, so you don't have to worry about them getting infected. You do have a small fracture on your right arm, so it is going to hurt, but it's not like the bone has fully broken, but more like it feels like there was a small crack. It's not your first time you fractured your arm.
Okay. I'm going to help the crew with the Kirathy, mostly because I want to more up close now that the thing is dead,
Okay.
and not thrashing around.
Give me a composure roll in order to hide the pain from the rest of the crew while you're trying to help carve the meat.
We should ask an important question.
Come on.
So what ends up happening is a very short member of the crew storms over to you, Nyx, and grabs you by the tuft, and he's like, "What are you doing? You're injured!" As he like pulls you towards the captain. This is Jared.
Oh my!
He is the vice captain.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is adorable.
So cute.
So Hadrian is a very tall Thrope, and Jareth is a very short Dalmatian style Thrope. But you can tell by his expressions and his body language and everything that he wants to be absolutely the most reliable member of the team. He really looks up to Hadrian and he wants to be the bestest boy. So he takes his job very seriously. He half drags you over despite your injuries, and he's like, Captain, one of the crew members is injured, please. We need to find Dr. Wolfenstein." Hadrian turns around and is like, "Oh, who got injured? I mean, we lost to several of them, but who is this?" Jared looks at you and is like, "Actually, wait, I know every single person on this ship," because he's the one who hired everybody. He does all the administrative work for Hadrian. So Hadrian doesn't know everybody, but Jareth certainly does. So Jareth looks at Nyx and is like,
Oh no.
"Who are you?"
Call me Scarlet. Nick Scarlet. I'm just here to help.
The captain bursts into laughter. He's like, "How many bloody stowaways are we getting in one afternoon?" So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 of you. But you can see he's actually not angry at all.
I didn't arrive this afternoon.
Yeah, you arrived a few weeks ago, but still. He's just like, "Well, we have some spare beds after what that Kirathy did." You see he's like trying not to speak too loudly so the rest of the crew doesn't hear him, but he's just like, "Yeah, I'm not too upset about you guys being here. We do need an extra pair of hands, but not every captain is going to be as forgiving as I am." And Jared says, "Or his vice captain." So the 4 of you have gathered together, and I need to roll quickly. I need to see if they can actually tell if you're a Kitsune or not, because the captain has actually been there. His eyes narrow when he looks at your tail, but he doesn't say anything. But as you know, he's a very cheerful guy, and he doesn't seem to be too upset by anything as long as things are going smoothly. You notice the only time you've ever seen him angry, even Spira, for you, because you've known him the longest here, you've noticed that the only time you've actually ever seen him angry was when the Kirathy actually injured or killed his crew. That was the first time he visibly showed anger on this entire voyage. He seems to mostly be a very laid back, very like happy dude. Gareth, on the other hand, he's like a bit more serious, but he's like in a good boy kind of way. He really wants to just take his job seriously so that Hadrian doesn't have to be serious. Is there anything anyone would like to say to the captain or vice captain while you've got them both here?
But I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tala.
I was gonna ask, where are we headed, by the way?
Oh, Tarnithia. Yeah, Tarnithia. We're going to Tarnithia in order to continue our trade routes. The Kong and the Quay are very interested in our wheat. They seem to have a bit more difficulties growing it in the climate up there. So wheat tends to sell pretty well, says Jareth, as he is already calculating the profits for Hadrian.
Do you happen to know if there are any dwarves over there?
There could be in the mountain range, but as you know, we're more of men of the sea. So going all the way inland into the mountains is not something I really do. So it could be, possibly. Although, if they are Quay, the Quay and the dwarves do have a little touchy rivalry with the fact that they are both forging races. If they are, then I certainly don't want to go near it with a conflict between the two of them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When will we be having dinner?
Well, you see, my boys, we're going to be, I think it's going to be all hands under deck in order to prepare the kitchen with all this fresh meat that we've just gotten. You guys are welcome to stay in, where can we put you? Jareth, where could we store our newfound friends and guests? Jareth looks at you guys and it's just like the warehouse, the beds of our fallen crew members, although I don't think the rest of the crew will appreciate having strangers sleeping in the beds of their deceased friends. So the only other option is either the apothecary study room or the VIP room, but something tells me Lord Hicks is not going to be particularly keen on that idea. And Hadrian sparks a bit of a laugh and he's like, yeah, no, that one, no, he certainly wouldn't. He doesn't even like it when we're both in there. He's like, yes, he is a bit possessive of his space, isn't he?
Maybe I can try to convince him.
You're welcome to try, little lady. It'll take about an hour or two for us to cook up this food, but we'll have a feast ready for you in no time.
I had a question. I have a question. Nyx is looking like a Thrope, right? Spira does know how Nyx looks like originally, right?
Nyx, you didn't use your one-tail ability, so you're still...
I didn't use my one-tail ability. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah. So Nyx is basically in their Kitsune form, but because the fact that Kitsune and Thrope are so similar in design, that essentially everybody is just assuming that it's a Thrope with an extra floofy tail.
Yeah, so
I was kind of focused on a whole lot of other things. I thought I saw a very hungry Thrope, so I was just food.
I guess nobody knows then. Okay.
Yeah. The captain
Nobody
might.
knows.
The captain does, but the captain he's cool enough that he's not actually going to bring it up. You get he's super chill. He's a really nice guy. He's super chill.
He's kind of like, well, I mean, they did save my crew, so I guess, I mean...
Exactly. He's like, I can let it slide. You know, I think he's lived enough on the sea that he knows that if people are willing to help each other out, everybody survives. So rather than starting a fight, a pointless fight, it's better to just work together and then like drop you off at the next port or something along those lines.
On that note, how many here recognize me as a Pegasus and not the Seraph?
So far, I would say nobody in the party.
I was gonna say, I'm probably thinking that you're a Sarah.
Hadrian and Jareth would know. Yeah, no one in the party would know what you are, Gina. But Hadrian and Jareth know that you're a Pegasus. Usually because if it was a Seraph,
So funny.
it would be a lot more dangerous.
Oh, what? So you're saying Gina's character isn't dangerous enough?
No, it's just the way that your wings function are completely different. Spira's wings provide flight and control over wind, whereas a Seraph's wings can absorb spirits, which essentially lowers the temperature of the area all around them. So whenever a Seraph uses magic, there's a high risk of everybody else around them freezing. So yeah, they would know if you were a Seraph.
A cold front.
Yeah, I mean, they were based on owls. And can I geek out for 1 second?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the whole
Go
concept
ahead.
behind it, right, is I wanted to take the idea of an owl being a stealth hunter and applying a magical twist to it. So their wings not only let them fly silently, but it absorbs spirits, which makes them invisible to other magic detection systems. So because they're just absorbing it kind of like with radar, where like the stealth bombers have like special paint to absorb the radar signals so they don't bounce back. So yeah, the Seraph's wings can absorb spirits, which makes it really, really hard to detect when they're flying.
That is so cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to geek out about that for a bit. There's more to the mechanics of it, but I don't want to go into spoilers. Okay, so the 4 of you are up on the deck. Hadrian seems to be satisfied. You guys are going to be staying in the apothecary's room. He didn't even ask Dr. Wolfenstein, but he assumes that Wolfenstein is such a good guy that he's not going to complain too much. Wolfenstein's got his own quarters to sleep in. So, Spira, you were already sleeping in the apothecary room to begin with. Also, you have an injured member in your party with a fractured arm that might need treating.
Hi.
Hi.
Ow,
Did you
my
tell me that
arm.
you
Ow.
need treatment.
Oh, ow.
Is there a doctor on the ship?
Well, there is Dr. Wolfenstein, but I can also do some bits and pieces. Like, did you hurt yourself again?
Yes. In that battle, I think I heard something crack in my arm.
Okay. There might be a broken bone or like a splinter or something like that, but I cannot fix it, but I can manage a splinter for you. I can have some pain reduction medicine as well if you need it.
That would be nice. Thank you again. You've already helped me. Now you're helping me again.
Well, I'm just glad to be able to help and to, be able to use this skill to actually help others. So it's fine.
All right. So then,
Do you have more bread on you?
I already ate all of my bread. Sorry, gonna have to get it somewhere.
Question about Fae.
Yes.
Do they eat berries and grain? What do they eat?
Usually it's vegetarian dish, but you would not say no. You're capable of eating, because again, the curse of humanity means that you're capable of being omnivores. It's just that it's very rare for a Fae to want to pick up hunting or raising livestock. I mean, it's not impossible, but the majority of the Fae are just happy collecting berries and fruits and stuff. Again, given your size, food could go a very long way. Like one apple is like a week's worth of food for you.
I can't even pick it up.
Exactly, yeah. Usually just a small bit of food, like a slice of bread would have you sorted easily.
One bread, please. Or one little slice of bread, please. Just a crumb.
Yeah, we'll have the feast ready in about 2 hours.
2 hours? I have to wait that long?
Laris, what are you doing now?
Well, I'm contemplating going back to the water and collecting the color of my lost shark because I want it as a memento. Precious war shark.
Yeah, I will allow that. You can jump overboard. You could just be like, I'll be right back, and you jump overboard.
Yeah.
And you swim a fair distance, and you see like the shark, like half of the shark is already sinking, and there's like several little fish nibbling at it already. But yeah, you can acquire the saddle. It's more like it's more like a strap that goes around the body of the 7-fin shark, and you can essentially loop your hand into it, which allows it to effectively drag you, but you're quite streamlined already. So yeah, essentially you don't have to sit on the shark. You hold onto it like a leash. Yeah, so you've got it back now.
It's like walking your dog, but your dog is like 10 times stronger than you.
The dog's walking you, yeah.
Exactly. Because I wanted to give it back to the captain.
Yeah, okay. So you've got that, and we'll put it in your storage, your backpack storage. We'll assume you have like a long-term storage as well as your hit powder. Okay, so I'm going to take over now. So so everybody now heads downstairs to the apothecary room. When the 4 of you enter, you see a older-looking man who is wearing a doctor's coat and the stethoscope around his ears. Dr. Wolfenstein, this old Thrope with a doctor's coat and a stethoscope around his neck. He's like, "Oh, Spira, you're back again. How was it? I heard the battle upstairs, and I got everything ready in case anybody was injured. How did it go upstairs?" You can see on his desk, it's filled with like bandages, and he's good to go. He's ready to treat the entire crew if needed.
It went better than it could have, but we did lose some people, and also this one has probably a broken arm.
His ears droop when he hears that you said that some people died up there, and he's like, "Oh, that's a shame. That's a terrible shame." And he's like, okay, let me treat this one, and then, well, we can treat this one. This will be a good lesson for you. It's going to be okay. Take a seat over here," and he gestures to you, Nix. He also looks at the other two, and are you injured as well?
I kind of already snuck off. I mean, I snuck away. Like, as they were talking, I want Hyacinth to sneak away into, like, further into the room, and then start, like, looking around and shuffling to find bedding. To make herself bedding.
Okay, so you find what's the top shelf. Looks like a pretty good spot. There's a bunch of gauze, like spare bandages and stuff that Wolfenstein couldn't reach, that are like near the top shelf, and you could easily build a little makeshift bed from that. It would be quite comfy.
So I'm assuming he didn't see me because I just kind of snuck away while they were talking.
Give me a stealth with your dexterity.
Yes. It's a 10.
Yeah, I'd say you succeed. You make a nice little bed for yourself, and nobody else has spotted you. Sylaris. Sylaris.
Mixing names again, Jono.
Yeah, no, don't mix names like alcohols. I get it. Sylaris, how do you answer the doctor's question?
No, I'm not injured. It's hardly just a scratch I have, but nothing serious, thank you.
Well, the fact that an abyssal is not trying to murder me on sight is a pretty good day, I would say. And he's like, "Well, welcome. You're always welcome here as long as you don't cause any trouble."
Wait, did you say abyssal?
He looks to you, Nix, and is like, "Yeah, this is an abyssal. I've met a few of them in my lifetime. Some of them are more vicious than others, but this one seems to be on the better temperament side. He's an old man."
I see. Take a seat while squinting a bit. Hilarious.
And I also look at Nix very suspiciously with one eyebrow raised. "Do you have something with abyssals?"
The side eye from the two of you. A little lightning bolt between them.
No, not at the moment. Hey, let's just get my arm treated right now.
As well, because I have never heard of an abyssal, so I'm just...
Well, yeah, so Sylaris, you can now look around the room and like find a spot, like claim a spot, while Spira and Dr. Wolfenstein help treat Nix's arm. Hyacinth is already settled in on the top shelf, like just by the door, So you've got a great view. It's kind of having the penthouse suite for you, Hyacinth. You've got a great view of the entire room and everything that's going on. You spot the potential drama that's brewing below. It's good tea.
I'm just like, I could mediate. I don't know what to say. I barely know these people.
Spira, we need to do a medicine roll here, and you've got the doctor with you, so he'll give you some advice and help you as well. So we're gonna take your apothecary skill, which is +5, and we will add in your intelligence. So that'll be, yeah, so that'll be +6, and then I will factor in the doctor's help as well. Excellent. Okay, so Nyx, you're seated down, and you can see the doctor. Now, this is your first time meeting the doctor. He's immediately shocked by the state that you're in. You are battered, bruised, cut, and broken. That's the best way I can put it. He asks Spira about the state that your friend is in. He's like, what happened? What happened to this person?
I don't really know. I found them out in the hallway, just outside of here, basically.
Well, I noticed you've already started treating them.
Yeah, I found them with all of these cuts, and they were really, really hungry, so I just did the best that I could. And then that thing attacked, so I got kind of busy with that.
Okay, well, it's good of you to help those in. However, I don't recommend giving food to somebody that you have not completed a full analysis of. If we had to not put them to sleep in a permanent sense, but if we had to knock them out in order to perform more serious operations, having a full stomach could be a bit of a danger. So that's your lesson, your main takeaway for today's. Don't feed a patient until you know whether you need to perform surgery or not. Okay. He's very reassuring even when criticizing you.
but food.
Yeah, this is sacrilege to you. Okay, this is heresy. He's speaking. No food.
Heresy.
Wait. What?
Do you deny me food?
Why is food so important to all of us?
Oh, not me.
It's the fuel of
We
life.
need it.
Well, we could have added shark to the menu, but I didn't want to be me.
Oh no! Oh, that's awful.
No.
Fish are already eating it. So.
No.
So together, Spira and Dr. Wolfenstein begin treating Key from head to toe. There's a lot of work to be done. There are cuts to be disinfected and bandaged. There is a fractured arm, which the Dr. Wolfenstein is very quick to identify, and he coaches Spira on how to treat such injuries, whether they are minor or major, going all the way to a full fracture. He takes the time to use this as a lesson to explain what to do if the bone had broken fully and was protruding from the skin. So he shows you, he gives an example of how you would set it back in place and apply a splint. He says, but to make sure that the patient has something to bite down on beforehand, because otherwise they could crack their teeth. So yeah, you're getting a full-on lesson. He's giving you the good stuff.
I'm like horrified. Good thing I didn't break my bone.
And essentially he applies a splint anyway to the fracture just to reduce the likelihood of it being bumped. So he takes 4 pieces of wood and puts it in cardinal directions on your arm, so 2 on the side and two above and below, and then wraps it with string on the edges and the middle, and then uses a bandage around that as well to hold it all together in place. So it's essentially there as a support to keep it still while it's healing. You rolled exceptionally well there, so I would like to push your apothecary up to level 3, because you're being trained by a master. I mentioned this to everybody before, but if you can find a master to help show you skills, I will reward leveling up skills at a much higher rate than if you were to learn from trial and error. And I think medical skills, learning through trial and error, is not something the party is particularly keen on. Oh.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let me experiment on you.
So the takeaway is that I think this benefits everybody here. So don't worry.
Wonderful.
I reward everybody. I'm trying to reward everybody equally, but I also want to maintain narrative sensibilities here as well. So I want to keep the party's power relatively the same, but at the same time, I also have to understand that characters will evolve differently based on what happens. Okay, so by the end of this lesson, Sylaris, you have managed to put together a decent looking bed. Essentially, you've found a very large, it's a metal bath. That's the best way I'm going to put it. It's essentially a very large metal bucket, which essentially can contain a lot of water, which I'm going to assume you went and fetched from the ocean. So you've got a essentially water bath to sleep in. So it's very comfy for you, Sylaris, especially since it's got ocean water in it. So you feel right at home. It's like a great bed for you. If you added in some pillows, some spare pillows, then yeah, you got a good resting spot.
It is a trough.
Spira, your bed is large enough to share with Nyx, or you can help make Nyx a spot for themselves.
I could sleep on the floor. I just need enough bedding.
Dr. Wolfenstein does not approve. He's like, no, you're injured. You need to lie down and rest. Here, dear, could you help them make a new bed, please?
Problem. And I'm used to sharing beds, so if you need to, I can share. It's no worries.
Okay.
Are you sure? I mean, like I said, I could sleep on the floor. I could just use something to prop up my arm as I sleep.
Dr. Wolfenstein will not be having any of this. He insists. He's a very
No
kind man,
worries.
but he
You'll
is
just-
very serious about his treatment. His prescription. You need rest and food, and I know how important food is to you.
Food. Okay.
Speaking of which, you guys smell something amazing coming from the bowels of the boat. The feast that the captain was talking about
it
is
smells
well on
amazing.
its way.
What is that? It smells like meat. Meat? Is that meat?
Yes, it is meats and vegetables and breads and calamari meat primarily. But yes, wonderful smells that are well seasoned, because this boat was well stocked with food for the travel. And you get the impression that maybe Hadrian is dipping a little bit into their trade supplies in order to celebrate, probably to the frustration of Jareth, who's trying to keep his captain under control. They've got a very fun dynamic, those two. All right. You hear a dinner bell ring, so the four of you leave the doctor. The doctor joins you as well, actually. Essentially, in the canteen, the dining hall of the boat, there is a huge crowd. There are about 32, if you wanted to count, 32 Thrope sailor, not including Hadrian or Jareth. So there's 34 Thrope on this boat. Actually, 35 if you include Lord Hicks. Yes, 35 Thrope on this boat. Lord Hicks is not there, the VIP that was mentioned. You haven't even met him, you just have heard of him because Dr. Wolfenstein was brought on board at his behest. What you know is that Dr. Wolfenstein has treated the Hicks family, so he's kind of the local doctor for Hicks Port, but also the doctor that takes care of the noble family of that area. Oh, there you are! Hadrian waves to the four of you as he spots the bandage on Nyx's arm, and he just raises up a thumbs up. He's like, I see the good doctor's gotten to you all. Take a seat. And you see that there is several spots open near him as well.
I would immediately take a seat because I am ready for food.
Okay.
I would just land on the table.
Are there any bread that I can take to my little stash of bread?
Yes, you see that the tables are filled with cooked meats and breads and rolls and vegetables. It's almost like it's been set up as platter. Everybody, once the captain gives the go-ahead, everybody will then just start grabbing rolls and breads and slapping meat onto the bread and feasting down. These are sailors. This is not high dining. This is probably why Lord Hicks is not here. It's a feast in the sense that there's a lot of food. It might not be the most like 5-star restaurant food, but it is good food, and that's all that matters to a sailor.
As a small little fae, I try to grab food too, but do I need to make a roll?
No, you can help yourself if you want.
No, because there's a bunch of sailors grabbing at it, and I'm just
No,
like,
not yet. Not yet. They're waiting. Their tails are wagging as they're waiting. Got 30,
I'm
32
excited for
tails
food.
wagging. 34 tails, 33 tails wagging.
Mine is wagging too. I'm waiting. My ears will be moving up and down happily, just waiting for food.
Laris, you notice that a lot of eyes are all looking at you as the crew slowly comes to realize that an abyssal is on board, but whispers abound. You hear that a couple of people are defending you, especially those who saw how amazing the four of you took action against the Kilrathi. So some of the crew still are a bit suspicious of you, Sylaris, but others seem to want to at least give you a chance to prove yourself since you helped save them, despite their best efforts.
I don't really pay attention to them. I'm noting in my mind that who is not approving of me, but I don't really show. But I put on a little show for them as I start to reach out to the platters with my tentacles to several platters, and I fill my plate from like different platters with my tentacle while they are watching.
You hear a crowd going, oh, as they're watching the arms of many targets, the tentacles of many targets reaching for the food.
I give them a side eye.
Yeah, I'm going to say,
Imagine, like, everyone's all like, ooh, except for Nick.
And I'm just like
side-eyeing.
I'm going to assume that it's Hadrian, and next to Hadrian is Jareth. Next to Jareth is Nyx. Next to Nyx is Spira. Next to Spira is Dr. Wolfenstein. And then Sylaris with Hyacinth on the table next to Sylaris. Because the two of you did the resonance before, I'm just going to assume that you're keeping close to each other anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I actually grabbed something to eat for Hyacinth. Something big that she probably couldn't lift on her own.
So with one of your tendrils, grab like an entire apple by the stalk, and you very politely place it, plop it down in front of Hyacinth.
Yeah, but I don't really say anything. I just put it in front of her.
It's so cute. It's so cute.
And then it's nibbling on the apple.
So the captain stands up and he gives a bit of a speech. He's like, so the Kilrathi tried its best today and failed. We did our best today and now we feast. And that's all I've got to say about that. We honor the dead and we praise the living. And he raises a glass and cheers towards the four of you on board. So he's honoring the deceased members, but praising the four of you for being the main ones who took down the Kilrath. So come by, cheers, everybody. They clack their cups together and everybody just starts grabbing food and wolfing down. It's a feast. Enjoy it.
Woo! Food time, finally! And then I start stuffing my face.
Yeah.
Because I've been waiting for food for like this kind of food forever.
Yeah, for Nyx, by the way, it's been several days. It was several days
Yes.
since you last had food.
I've been waiting for food for so long.
Okay, so you guys stuff your face and everybody's eating. You notice that the only person at the table who's eating politely is Jareth. He is trying his best to like make a very neat sandwich, and he passes one to Hadrian and then makes another one for himself. Hadrian thanks him, picks it up and tears it apart and then laughs and drinks and, you know, makes jokes with his crew members. Jareth is very focused on making neat little sandwiches that he then enjoys as well.
Complete opposites.
Really quickly, I'm gonna poke Sylaris. I'm gonna poke Sylaris's hand real quick.
Yes,
Can you open the apple for me?
of course. And then I just smack the apple to the table and it just cracks in half.
I'm gonna
Yes.
stare at all before be like thank you.
Oh, pardon me.
So cute.
You meant with my dagger? I'm sorry.
I have like apple pieces on me now.
Well, it went from such a cute, touching moment to, well, this.
I have applesauce on me now.
I'm a soldier, but
You see, Sylaris took your instructions quite literally.
yeah.
I like your style. And then she starts eating.
Okay, Spira, you notice that Wolfenstein is also sometimes having a little bit of trouble with his food, so I'm going to assume that you want to help him also with eating his food and such.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
Okay, so everybody's eating, singing, having songs. The setting sun has now completely gone and it's nighttime. The crew have started leaving one by one as they're full. Others are picking up plates and everything. The four of you have stayed behind as the captain and Jareth. Jareth is the only one who didn't get drunk. Who here actually drank the alcohol? Raise
No,
your hands.
I don't. I don't drink.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Let's go.
So Nyx has had alcohol. Who else?
I probably drank a little, but just like a glass or something like that, and then
Okay.
I stayed off it.
Okay, Nyx, give me a stamina roll. Let's see.
I want to see. Oh my god.
You are drunk. You're like not passed out, but you went into a very sad drunk like monologue
Yes.
that about some guy called Jiro. Everyone else doesn't really understand what's going on.
And I
I'm so sorry, Jiro.
bring them a side eye again.
I'm gonna
I'm
pat
like-
their back.
I'm like comforting Porky.
Jiro.
Nick, poor Nick, will comfort them.
Yes. So Nyx has been drunk sobbing for a little bit. Whoever this Jiro guy is, it sounds like they were quite important to Nyx. So Yeah. Okay. So that happened.
I don't know, guys. I think Nyx is really broken up about something. I can't tell what.
Something really bad seems to have happened.
I think they had a pet named Jiro. Maybe they need to go home. Maybe Nyx needs to go home to go see them again.
No.
Oh, and I start crying more.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. And I'm like petting their arm and everything, like patting their arm.
Meanwhile,
Like
Sylaris
tiny
is
little
giving the
hands.
side eye the whole time.
And I'm just rolling my eyes. Yes, it was my shark that died, not crying.
Well, technically, it wasn't your shark. It was being led to you by Captain Nyx.
Yeah, but it was still my shark.
Yeah, it
I
was.
mean,
It was in your
my
custody.
companion, my reliable companion
Yeah.
through my journey.
Mars is like the emotional Thrope over here.
No,
Yes.
else was reliable
Just
throughout my
rolling.
entire journey and life. Jiro. He was family.
Spira, you think back on Vida and Freya, what they were up to.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I'm probably getting a bit quiet, but I'm still patting Nyx's back, but slightly absent-mindedly.
So the captain realizes that everybody else has left, and he's like, "Okay, I think the boys have gone to bed now. I think it's a good time to introduce you four to Lord Higgs. Are you ready?"
I'll talk some sense into him. Maybe he'll be nice.
Okay, so Jareth, being the reasonable one here, is like, I don't really know if Lord Higgs is ever ready to meet new people, but okay, and better late than never. We will let him know. We have to inform him after all. He's the one funding this entire trip. Yeah, the six of you get up. Wolfenstein bids you adieu as he goes back to his office. Actually back to his quarters to sleep. It's quite late for an old Thrope. He gestures to Nyx and says, "If that one has a bit of a headache in the morning, let me know and I can whip up something for them quick." He shuffles out the room. Okay. So Hadrian and Jareth lead the four of you and essentially go to the back underneath where you guys were standing at when you first got on the boat. But at the
Question.
yes, question?
Shouldn't Nyx be acting drunk?
I'm stumbling.
I'm assuming Spira is like giving them a shoulder to stumble on as you go through. I'll give you another stamina check when we get into the room to see if you sober up a little bit before we talk to nobility, but you fell for my trap with the feast.
I went through a lot. I needed that drink.
Fair, in character. Good point. You reach the back of the boat and you see, even from like where the door is positioned, that this must be one of the most important rooms, probably usually the captain's quarters, but is currently being occupied by Lord Higgs. Hadrian takes out his key to his quarters and very casually knocks on the door and unlocks it at the same time and opens it. Lord Higgs, we're coming in. As he knocks on the door. This guy is very chill, very laid back. So you hear a bit of a flustered voice going like, wait, what? And you're greeted by a Thrope in his early 20s, and he was in the middle of actually getting changed for bed. This is Roderick Hicks. He is a Thrope with a two-toned hairstyle, gray on his right side and a dark brown on the other. He's a young nobleman, and right now he is his shirt was like pretty much unbuttoned, and he was in the middle of like taking off his clothes in order to change into some sleeping clothes.
Covers my eyes.
Are you doing this on purpose, Jono?
No, he's shooting you daggers.
Hyacinth is covering her eyes.
And no, I'm not doing this on
I
purpose.
raise my tentacles to cover your eyes.
Hey, why are you shirtless?
Because this is my room and I'm about to go to sleep. Now, Captain Hadrian, can I ask why? Actually, wait. Why have you brought... Oh, hello. He's like looking at you guys.
Oh my god, I face pumped so hard.
Went from shooting you daggers to thinking that Hadrian had arranged special guests for him.
Oh my god!
And that's when Hyacinth doesn't understand it all. She's just trying to cover her eyes and be like, ah.
Don't worry, Jareth like jumps in between.
Yeah, Vera doesn't understand that either.
Oh my god.
Jareth jumps in between before Hadrian opens his mouth to make some inappropriate joke. And he's just like, Lord Higgs, you gave us an order before we left port that we are to notify you of anything particularly unusual happening upon this boat. We already told you about the Kilrathi. However, it has come to our attention that these 4 individuals were responsible for defeating it, and they were not part of the original roster on the crew. You see Roderick looks at Jareth with a bit more respect than he has for Hadrian, and it's just like, I see. I'm glad you're following my orders. And he still like gives you guys a bit of an eye as he's like eyeing you up, and he's just like, nice.
He's like, what's
Wait,
what about the abyssal? I mean, isn't he looking?
hey, watch those
Nice.
eyes. Guys, wait, am I still drunk?
He's a bit of a playboy back in Hicksport, okay?
Oh no.
You can tell he's the kind of noble that likes to flirt around a lot. He likes to throw around his family name at parties and such. So he's just like, if I'd known that we had such guests on board, I would have joined you for the feast that you mentioned earlier. And you see there's a empty plate that was food prepared for him. It looks like it was much more like fine dining. Hadrian is like, well, if you ever came out of your room, you might actually have some fun once in your life, as he slaps Roderick on the back. You notice he like immediately starts buttoning up his shirt again, while like Hadrian is also a little bit tipsy, but yeah. Jareth, on the other hand, is face palming, and he looks at the 4 of you and it's just like, I'm so sorry about this. It's very hard to keep them both under control when they've had alcohol. You notice there's an empty glass of wine also by the food that Roderick had for his dinner. Would any of you like to say anything to the Lord?
Sorry for
Do you
coming in when
trade?
you were dressed.
No, that's perfectly fine. It's as Jareth explained, he was just following orders, and it is a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?
My name's Hyacinth.
Our family has had a few dealings with your kind. We've traveled to several of your circles, and some of our food even reaches all the way to Fairweather.
Really?
Yes, really. Do you happen to be from there, little lady?
I am.
Oh well, the next time we land back in Videntia, I should be sure to visit there. Please make sure you introduce me to Orion this time. Your people didn't actually let me speak to him, so I would greatly appreciate it if you could put in a word for me after all.
Do I need a composure check?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Oh, no.
you put on a good smile, just like yes, of course.
Uh-huh. I definitely will.
He notices that, but he doesn't say anything about it, and he looks to the others, expecting you to also like provide your names.
My name is Spira.
A Pegasus, I see. But which herd are you from?
I'm from the Golden Strider.
Ah, the Golden Striders. I'm more familiar with the herd that travels along the coastline, but the Golden Striders, we've done business dealings with them as well, so pleasure to meet you, Spira, Golden Strider.
Pleasure is mine.
And this abyssal, now this is a rare sight. What is an abyssal doing aboard my ship? And you see Hadrian is like, you mean our ship? And he's like, well, my father is funding this ship, so yes, we can go with our ship. What brings an abyssal aboard?
I kind of look him up and down, not really impressed by him.
He's looking you up and down as well, by the way. He's trying to flirt.
Yeah, but I'm not. I mean, I get it, but I'm really suspicious of everyone new, so I'm really cold towards him.
I gotta do a composure check to see if he likes that. Yeah, he likes that.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Oh no!
He's just like, okay, playing hard to get. I see. But you still haven't explained what brought you upon our boat.
What? This is the middle of the ocean. It's really not that interesting to meet an abyssal. Sylaris, by the way.
Ah, pleasure to meet you, Sylaris. I'm sure I'll get that answer out of you someday. As he winks.
And I roll my eyes hard.
That's fair.
Starting to pick up on him being really, really flirty, and she thinks that's weird because leaders don't do that.
He's a nepo baby.
Like, not every character I write is a character I like, and the fact that I have to roleplay them as well is great. So, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
He looks at Hadrian, and Roderick says, now that we've got an entire new crew of species upon our ship, is there anything else you need to tell me before I need to go to sleep, or are they actually spending the night here? Hadrian laughs, is like, no, they got their bedding sorted out, and Jareth is breathing a sigh of relief and is just shuffling the 4 of you towards the door. But Hadrian says, actually, there's one thing. You know what? No, it can wait. Like, let's all go to bed.
Hyacinth raises her hand.
Yep.
Do you have any pillows? Small little pillows you don't need.
Well, Jareth, your sister had a doll set. He's like, my sister was not on board, Captain. And he's like, Well, you're very good at making small things. That's because my sister always ripped them. He's like, well, could you knit a little pillow for this one here? And he's like, yes, Captain. It is a good boy.
Hyacinth is like shaking her hands with excitement.
Jareth leads you guys out of the room. Is there anything you want to say before we leave the room?
Realized I didn't introduce
Actually-
myself, but it's kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Actually,
Really?
I'm too drunk right now.
Yeah, actually, Roderick puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, you didn't tell me your name.
Oh
I
no!
see that Dr. Wolfenstein has done some good work on
Am
your
I
arm.
still drunk out of my mind? Can I roll
Yeah,
for that?
okay, tell me what you want to say, and then I will give you a composure roll to see if that's actually what you say.
Okay, I'm Nick Scarlet. I'm just a simple traveler trying to see the world.
Okay, and what are your true thoughts? What are your true thoughts towards him? Like, what are you thinking with the way that he behaves and treats others and treats you and speaks to you and all that? Like, I want to know what your true thoughts are, and then we're gonna do a roll to see whether what you say.
You say he's nobility, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Come on, what is it that you think of him based on your
Let's
impression?
see. I'm just thinking about how he's act different from the nobility I've met in my life, like from where I'm coming from,
Yes.
and how he's really friendly and not like super uptight, I guess.
Okay. So give me a composure roll. You keep your drunk thoughts to your. So there's a saying I have where drunk words are sober thoughts. So things you would never say when you're sober come out when you're drunk. So yes. You're drunk. You keep your sober thoughts safe. Okay. So he's just like, oh, a traveler. You must have seen lots of the world. You know, if we get back to Hicksport, we could travel all over Verdantia.
Me being naive and drunk right now. Really?
Yes, but you know, it might take a few months for us to do a round trip. Going all the way to Tarnithia and back is quite the trip.
I'm
if
just
you're
like
willing to wait.
nodding excitedly, just at the mention of traveling somewhere.
All right. Jareth notices that he is taking advantage of your intoxicated state and gently taps Roderick on the shoulders. I believe the captain wants to have a word with you in private, and he shuffles everybody else out of the room. So Roderick's like,
what kind of question? And then
the door closes. Jareth is with you. Jareth is with you. Roderick and the captain are inside. You and Jareth, everybody else is outside. So Jareth is ready to take you back to Dr. Wolfenstein's room and help knit a pillow for you.
is there a way I can go talk to Roderick again? Maybe sometime soon?
Why would you want to put yourself through that, Hyacinth?
He seems nice. What do you
He
mean?
said he'll take me traveling. He seems like a nice guy.
I have
Seems
questions.
like little baby guys. What are you talking about?
I have questions I need to ask him, if that's okay.
He's not really leader-like, I feel like.
He's just a playboy.
I
Roderick,
don't know what that means, but I do have questions. I need answers.
Roderick Higgs is from the noble house of Higgs, of Higgsport. As you can imagine, there is a bit of a long history between his family and the port of that town. Unfortunately, he's a bit of an embarrassment of the family because he tends to give in to his intrusive thoughts a little more easily than most adults should. He tries to be very diplomatic in the way that he phrases it. If he sees something that he wants, he chases it. And if he sees something that he can't have, he finds a way to get it. So it's best to keep your interactions with him to a minimum and professional. See, he's speaking from experience as if Hicks has even like tried to come on to Jareth.
And then Hyacinth at that sentence of he tries to get what he wants, she kind of shudders and then she's like, understood. I don't want to talk to him anymore.
I'm glad that you understand. Better to learn from the wisdom of others than the mistakes of life. He says as he, again, is rubbing his temple, but this time he's thinking of Hadrian. The amount of mistakes that he's gotten the ship screw into. Jareth is the backbone of this ship.
Jared keeps things running in the background.
Exactly.
Good boy.
So the four of you go back to Dr. Wolfenstein's office and set up for the night. Jareth spends about an hour knitting a tiny little pillow for Hyacinth. It's a success. I'm not even going to roll for it. He has
That's cute.
He has several younger sisters that he takes care of whenever they're at port. So he's usually when they return from port, he tells you this. Usually when they return from a long trip, he spends the night with them and helps fix all of their toys and such that they broke during the time that he was away from home. He's very dexterous with his hands.
To that, I'm like, thank you, but I'm still like, she still looks a little down, or she looks defeated a little bit.
Why are you so sad, little one? Is the pillow not to your liking?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry. I'm thinking a lot. Don't mind me.
Okay, well, as you know, Dr. Wolfenstein is a great person to listen to when you have troubles, and most of the crew also come to me when they have a problem as well. You know, Hadrian is a bit of a wild card, so yeah. If you do have anything, you can always chat to me about it. And he pats you on the head, but he gets up and like starts to motion for the door that he also wants to go sleep now.
just kind of wave. Like, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. He waves back. He looks at the rest of you. I'll see you on the deck in the morning. The poor doctor is busy taking care of the deceased. I better go help him. And he heads upstairs to help clean up the body.
Oh.
Yeah, you guys don't have to join them for that one. Yay, first day completed. That was technically one whole day for you guys from the last episode and this episode. Don't worry.
Wow.
A couple of weeks goes by. You get used to life on the crew. Nix, your arm starts to heal over time, especially with having the doctor and Spira taking care of it. Spira, your lessons are going very well. And Sylaris, you find that the crew gets more comfortable with your presence, and more so, they become more fascinated by the kind of tricks that you can perform. So when you're helping out with the crew, the fact that you can hold like several mops at once and whatnot is very, very impressive for everyone. Hyacinth, you also get the fascination of the crew where they dote on you. Like every now and then a crew member will take out like a little berry and pass it to you, or they'll wave at you when they go by. You see the crew are in like very high spirits, and essentially the four of you get accepted over the past couple of weeks.
We're part of the crew.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
It would be tragic if something horrible would have happened.
What?
I'm joking. Okay, sorry, I had to say it. After a couple of weeks, you notice that the boat took quite a bit of damage from having an entire Kilrathi swan dive on top of it. So even though the damage from the holes were fixed pretty quickly, you notice that the ship itself is sailing a bit slow, as well as the fact that it lost with one attack. Yeah, you're technically replacement crew, but you're not skilled sailors. So you're helping, but it's not really improving the ship's speed. And you notice that that Hadrian is getting a bit more concerned about this. And you see he often has discussions with Jareth, talking about ways that they can speed up the ship. And Jareth is always saying that he's doing his best, but he can't, take away any more sleep hours from the rest of the boys. Would anybody like to comment on this?
I'm gonna walk up to them and say, like, I can try and make the wind go our way.
Hadrian thinks about this for a second, and he's like, give me a minute. And he walks to the edge of the boat, and he thinks, and he's like, no. No. He turns back and he's, I appreciate the thought, but you would tire yourself out something fierce. And if anything, it would only save us like maybe an hour or two, but we're very behind schedule. And he looks at the four of you and he's like, oh, okay, I guess fine. He leads you downstairs and takes you back to his room where Roderick is, this time fully clothed, and is enjoying a cup of tea. When he opens the door and he's like, oh, you've come back again. It's been a while. None of you have visited me since. I was getting a little lonely. But this time Hadrian is not joking around. He's like, Roderick, it's serious now. And you see Roderick for the first time stiffens up a little bit because it's unusual to see Hadrian serious. Like he could understand if Jareth was saying it, but for Hadrian, he's like, okay, Hadrian, what's going on? Remember what we talked about a few weeks ago? And he's like, yes, about the damage to the ship. Well, we're not going to make it before the end of the month. And Roderick grows a bit concerned and he looks at the four of them. He's like, well, that's not the end of the world. And Hadrian goes, yes, for us, but as you know, we have 4 guests aboard. And Jareth has been very quiet, but Roderick is like, and again, if need be, we can throw them in a boat, in one of the rowing boats. And Hadrian's like, no, you don't understand. No, we are not going to abandon them in the middle of the ocean. Does anybody want to speak up on when you hear those words?
Not to be abandoned in the middle of the ocean, actually. I actually like it here on the ship.
I quite like being not in the ocean.
Hadrian laughs like, no, I could understand why you like my ship so much, but you might not like it if we reach the end of the month.
Oh, why is that?
Well, we usually schedule these journeys so that it wouldn't be a bother for everyone else. But, Jareth, could you explain in a way that's not going to cause them to panic? And Jareth is like, I don't think there is a way to explain in such a way that wouldn't cause a panic, sir. But, Captain, I will do my best. And he looks at the four of you and he says, how familiar are you with Thrope biology?
Oh, no.
Spira, you would know.
I think I know what you are meaning, yes.
Yes, well, for those of you who don't, unfortunately, we tend to have one bad day. When it's a full moon, Thrope, against our own will, revert into our primal forms. Now, this isn't much of a problem when it's an entire crew of Thrope, because we all get along and we're all part of the same pack. However, for you 4, well, maybe Nyx will be okay, but for you 3, definitely. I don't think that you guys will have bonded enough to be considered unofficial pack mates from our instinctual side. As much as we like having your company, I don't think it would be in the best efforts to have the 3 or 4 of you on the boat. come the full moon. This is the game-ending threat I was talking about. You want a boat with 35 werewolves? Let's go.
Oh, I see.
I'm just thinking about how long can I fly for and how long is the transformation?
For one night,
once-
one whole evening. The full moon is in 3 days. So you have 3 days to plan.
Oh, well,
You know,
I'm
I
fine.
might be fine. I also have a possible backup too.
What do you mean you might be fine? Aren't you a Thrope as well?
Hyacinth looks at Nyx like, what's going on?
That's what I mean. I'll be fine.
Of course you will
Yeah.
be fine. I will be fine too. I will just jump into the ocean and problem solved. Maybe I can.
Fly for that long?
You can just rest on my head. My head can be out of the water and you can just rest on my head the full
No.
night.
I'm not going near the ocean.
I will. What? You rather stay with the werewolf? Well,
rather
that's
make
your
a friend.
choice.
How long can my primal soul last for? And how long can that thing fly?
Or maybe. What if I use my ink of darkness and we just hide inside there so the werewolves won't notice us?
Well, you guys have 3 days to plan. So
Mhm.
you guys can discuss your plans now. Like, come up with some ideas. The next episode should be right here. Thanks for watching.